to America's home for racing. We've got a great show in store for you. And to help me out, if you would please welcome my two guest hosts. This is awesome to have them here. Let's give it up for John Roberts and Kenny Wallace.
What up, Jose? How you doing, Charlotte? Okay, now I want you guys, you better make it till the end of this race. Y'all are drinking beer early, but as I always say, how you gonna drink all day if you don't start in the morning? You can't do it, but they'll make more beer, right, Kenny? They're making more beer as we speak, so drink it.
You know what I like, Johnny and Jose? Everybody has got color. You all look at this guy here. You look good in the Wood Brothers stuff. I mean, he all Wood Brothers.
All right, I like that.
Michael Waltrip, hey, it's Kyle Larson. He gonna make. I think the weather's gonna hold off. You all look good. What is it? Your 18th birthday?
18th birthday.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday
to you.
To you.
You belong in the zoo. Hey, you never forget those child rhymes. He wants a little bit of attention. What do you got going on there? Is that Denny Hanglin? You look good, buddy. Look at this crowd. Y'all come on in now. Look at this crowd. This is a great midway. They've changed the midway.
Joey Logano's
really
with us in the crowd.
Really
Joey's out there. Hey, Joey, how you doing?
Jimmy Johnson. Hey, Jimmy.
We got Jimmy Johnson here.
And thanks to everybody watching on PRN Performance Racing Network. That's we're live right now.
The camera's right there.
So y'all say hi. And we've got a great show for you. We've got Michael Waltrip.
Yes.
We've got Ross Chastain, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and Ryan Preece right here on the show. So are you guys ready for our first guest? Come on. Well, let's make some noise. Let's bring him out. Michael Waltrip.
Mikey.
Come on down.
In the house.
Hello.
Right here, Mikey.
Come on, Mikey. Belly up to the bar.
How y'all doing?
Okay, guys, I got to tell a little story, right? I'm going to tell a little story on Mikey. Right, so many years ago now, you guys can imagine how much fun I had doing this. We were stuck in a trailer all day long in Daytona with Mikey Waltrip, Kyle Petty, our good friend Chris Devoda, and Darius Rucker, okay? We laughed our butts off, but when it came to actually do the live show, we couldn't find Mikey, right? So Mikey, you were not at the wrong track. Of course, he was at the right track. But so me and Krista go on the air, and we're broadcasting, and all of a sudden we look down, and here's Michael Waltrip crawling down underneath the cameras, and then he pops up next to us, and pops up just like you were a little bit late, but no one knew, Mikey. No one knew.
It was a great entrance. I really enjoyed being a part of that show. TV has been my world forever, and I'm really thankful I still get to do a little bit of it.
Mikey, I told him backstage, I said, let's do something different. Let me interview you. He says, all right. You know, when I think of TV, and I know when you all think of TV, we watched all the TV networks go through all the changes. And I want to give you a big compliment. When I think of Fox, I think of you and Larry Mack. You are the only two that I know that are left. How did you do that?
Just love what I do. The fans mean the world to me, and I have this opinion in NASCAR and in any sport. You have two jobs as a commentator or an analyst. You have to inform and you have to entertain. And I put those two together because they don't have to, they can run parallel. One doesn't have to sacrifice for the other. So that's just sort of been my way of doing things. And then a few years back, they gave me a microphone and said, go interview drivers before the race. And
wow.
Been doing that ever since.
The rest is history.
It's what I like to call rehearsed impromptu. So you go up and you find a couple guys, you say, I'm going to be right here. You're going to be right. You're going to be here. I'll be right back in a minute. And you walk up and say, you know, where's Ross Chastain? He said he'd be here. He went to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, bad burritos, huh? You know? So you make that part up. But I'm just really thankful. Look at this day.
I
It's beautiful.
So many people and so much fun.
I want to ask. I want to ask about the grid walk, because this is something that I get to do on the big screen, exactly the same as you. I don't bring tacos with me, but I'd like to. So what are
Perhaps
some of
today.
your favorite? Perhaps today. What are some of your favorite moments on the grid walk that just you kind of put in your mind and think about?
Well, there's many, but the main thing I love about it is just how the drivers know that it's not going to be, exactly serious, and they all humor me and show a lighter side of themselves. The taco incident probably is way up there. That's for sure. I'm like,
no.
Please don't cuss. Please don't cuss. Please don't cuss. So there's just a lot of memories like that that make it fun.
You were on a large network. You used to tease me when you would say, Kenny, you always say national TV. Mikey would say, you always say we're on national TV. I'm like, Mikey, you're on the Big Bird. It's all over the world. We'd go to Mexico and they go, we get Fox down here. And I'm like, oh, wow. When you get ready to do the grid walk, do you still feel that those bugs?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, you want to do it. You want to make sure it's entertaining, and you put together a
butterflies. That's what I was looking for.
You put together a nice 3 minutes of TV, and that sounds easy enough. But when somebody isn't where they're supposed to be, then you got to figure out dumb stuff to say to keep everybody entertained till you get to the next guy. So I'm really thankful I got to do it last year, and for as long as I can remember, we honored fallen soldiers on race cars down on pit road, and so that was probably, and I had Bryson Burns come along with me. And that was probably one of my favorite grid walks of the year, because it went away from the silliness to just honoring and being thankful for this country and for those men and women that were riding along on the windshield of the race cars.
Yeah, it's a big day. Big day.
Sometimes you know when to laugh and when not to, and so that was a different gear. You would just put your serious face on and go out and say thank you.
So Mikey can be serious. We know that. We know Mikey can be funny.
Two-time Daytona 500 winner.
Yes,
I'm sure.
yes.
I'm sure. Not in the race car going. Two-time Daytona 500 winners. They had to be serious.
You want to hear a dad joke?
Yeah.
You know what the difference between a Zippo and a hippo is?
Schrader told me this.
A hippo is really heavy, and a Zippo is a little lighter.
That's dead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so guys, back 2012, right? And it's serious, but at the same time, it's kind of funny. So we knew, me and Mikey, were going to open up the first ever Daytona 500 in prime time on Fox. And so, there's going to probably be 18 to 20 million people looking at us. And there was a guy that we worked for that was trying to give me a hard time. He kept coming in the earpiece and saying, there's going to be 20 million people looking at you in about 5 minutes. Don't
you got
get
a good
nervous.
voice. His
Don't
bass.
get nervous. And so Mikey comes in, right? And this has happened to all of us, right, guys? So Mikey comes in to do the Daytona 500, and again, about maybe 18, 20 million people watching. And I look down at Mikey, and underneath his sport coat, the shirt was kind of a different color on part of the Mikey remembers this now. I would bring it up. He probably had totally forgotten about it. But Mikey had re-sweated through the dress shirt. We had to get you another one, and boy, did it help set the mood for the rest of the night. We were easy going for the rest of the night.
Can I ask a question?
Of course. I love questions.
Yeah. Anybody want to hear John Roberts sing his Juan Pablo Montoya song?
I do. I do.
No, do we
I do.
Guys, I don't think we want me to sing.
Okay. All right, listen.
But you know what, guys? There's bad language in the Juan Pablo song. Let's put it online later.
Let's do the Dale Jr.
Let's not do that.
I'm gonna sing the first half. I seen Junior. I seen his daddy too. I seen him eating that Lancaster barbecue. He asked me politely to sign my autograph, and Dale Jr. said, "Boy, I ain't having none of that." Now, I want to tell you, there's more to the song. But
We'll put it online.
That man right there, Joel Robert, he is incredibly talented.
We like to write a little music here and there.
And
it's amazing.
He started playing the drums one day, and I'm like, whoa, there's way more to you than a TV guy.
I mean, there's way more to you than it appears.
What don't we know?
That's a big joke. But the thing is, though, is what we got, guys, when we go week in and week out to the racetrack, Mikey and Kenny are part of this. I think, guys, if you go out to the race, if you go to a ballpark, right, and you see somebody playing basketball, baseball, or football and getting a paycheck to do it, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people doing that. When you go to a NASCAR Cup Series race, back when Mikey and Kenny were doing it, and this day, guys, there are 38 people doing it, just 38. That makes you guys elite. That makes you guys special. And if there's anybody you're watching out there today, these guys have busted their butts. They are the best of the best, and we're going to witness them tonight in front of a sellout crowd.
I just love this day. You talk about the competition that's going to be on the track. I stood on that flag stand at North Wilkesboro and watched those guys run 3 and 4 wide on that half-mile track that Kenny and I both raced on. We never did that before. These guys are as talented and the cars are as tough. They just scrub on each other. It's going to be a great night tonight in Charlotte.
Mikey, will end like this because we see the legend Ricky Stenhouse, another Daytona 500 winner. He's coming to the stage right now, but controversy a little bit. We have 200 million people they have Prime. 200 million people have Prime. What is your thought about the 5-race deal, all the NASCAR races being on Prime?
I think it's great. I think it's going to give our fans a different look at the sport for 5 races, and it's going to maybe get our sport into more houses than it is now, and that's what it's all about. I've got Prime, and I'm the most technology challenged individual you'll ever meet.
A lot of people don't know they have Prime.
I know, and I probably didn't know I had it either, and I really don't remember how I got it. But I got it, and I love it, and I can't wait to watch the boys tonight on TV.
Yeah.
And Mikey, you're not challenged.
Yeah.
You take challenges.
Yeah.
You're a challenger.
You just asked Ricky Stenhouse. He knows a little bit about my golf
Ladies and
game.
gentlemen.
Just ask Ricky Stenhouse how challenged I am. Okay. He'll be glad to tell you. Love y'all. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Michael Waltrip. Come on, big round of applause. Thank you for joining us, brother. So good to have you here. Always a pleasure to chat.
Off goes
You know what?
Mikey.
Let's go ahead and welcome him out. How about it? Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky!
What's up, brother?
What's up?
How are you doing?
All right,
Welcome
man.
to
We got
Trackside
a
Live.
big night going on here for
Yes,
you
we do.
guys.
Yes, we
And
do.
guys, I tell you what, Ricky has been. We ran each other Wednesday in the Music
Nashville.
City in Nashville. Ricky has been busting his butt out there promoting the sport, and I think in this day and age, guys, there is a reason why we have this crowd right here, why we have the 4th sellout in a row to the Coke 600, is because guys like Ricky are out there promoting what you do for a living.
It's fun. I mean, when we got the best fans in the world, it's easy to do that. So obviously we're looking forward to getting to Nashville, but the most important race is tonight. The Coke 600, one of my favorite races of the year, coming here to Charlotte. I came to my first Coke 600 in 1992. My dad brought me, and that was my first Cup race I ever got to experience, and kind of sat right over here getting in turn 1, and I think Mark Martin hit the wall right in front of us when I was headed down to the bathroom at one point. I actually thought about that not long ago, and then so I tried to find the 1992 Coke 600 on YouTube, and I was watching it, and sure enough, I don't know if he really hit the wall, but he spun right in front of me. So I couldn't find myself in the video.
I want to say that we all can relate to that. I remember my very first time ever, our family leaving St. Louis in my dad's old Lincoln Town Car, and I'll never forget walking into Daytona as a fan. Have you all done it, right? the first time you see the racetrack, you're like, so I understand what you're saying. All right, listen, it's about you right now. You are up to one of your best years ever in your NASCAR career. You're 14th in the points, and there's a lot of talk about you right now. Why the turnaround this year? I mean, you got it going on. It's no joke to be 14th in the points.
Yeah, I mean, we've caught some good breaks. I think we've been good at times, and you know, on our bad days, we're executing and not, you know, taking ourselves out of the race. And my guys on pit road are doing their job, and Mike Kelly and the guys are calling good races. And you know, we're taking, you know, times that we've had a bad car and we're finishing, you know, 18th with it. And you know, so for us, it's about taking advantage of the days that you have a good car, and we did that at Texas. We've done that at Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta. So yeah, I felt like I had a really good Fun Pop Chevrolet yesterday, and one of our better qualifying efforts this year on the mountain pass, qualified 11th. So
lined up 11th for the Coke 600. Everybody, that's big.
Feel really good about our car and race trim too. So I think the you know, going into the night will kind of help us a little bit as well. We won't have a big swing, you know, with as overcasted as it is today. I was hoping for a really hot day today, and man, it's chilly. It's gonna be. I hope y'all brought sweatshirts. It's gonna be chilly. So, no, I'm just looking forward to a great race, and you know, 600 miles. I love, you know, like you said, we're 14th in points, and tonight's a very important race for us to have a good race and a good car, because you know, there's so many points on the line tonight, and if you can get stage points in every stage and get a good finish, it'll, you know, kind of push us further in the point situation. Yeah.
Ricky, you were saying that this is one of your favorite races, and I know some of the other drivers say that as well. Is it because it's the home track? Is it because it's the 600 miles where you feel like this is one of those endurance races? What do you like about coming to this track?
It's not because it's the home track. If Martinsville was right here, it would be my least favorite. So no, Charlotte's just it is a fun racetrack to run. You know, a 1.5 mile racetrack. It's got some character down in 3 and 4 now. I mean, it's getting really rough down there. And if your car's working, I ran the bottom yesterday and was running some really good lap times. The top of the racetrack, you can make some speed as well. So, you know, 1 and 2 has kind of got pretty dominant, you know, middle to the top. Watching some of that Xfinity race yesterday, it looked like Austin Hill was able to make the bottom work decently there for a while in 1 and 2. So, no, it's just a great weekend. 600-mile race. I like that portion of it. Memorial Day weekend. We get to honor our fallen this weekend. So it's just a huge weekend. Obviously, I already watched Monaco earlier and getting ready.
Who won?
Lando Norris.
Really?
It was a good battle. It was a good battle. They were
Max Verstappen overtook Lewis Hamilton.
I want to. How
sounds
Lewis
pretty
Hamilton?
good.
I went to Europe and I went to Ferrari in Modena, Italy, and now I'm a big Lewis Hamilton fan. How'd Lewis do? Do we know?
5th.
Good job. Thank you. All right.
But yeah, and then, you know, obviously getting ready to turn my phone on so I can watch Larson hopefully win that thing, and
that's badass.
That would be super cool. So, and just crossing our fingers, weather stays good for him to finish that one. But yeah, it's just a great day. I mean, this is the best day in motorsports.
So you go by Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Tell us about Ricky Stenhouse Sr. How influential? What did he do, and how influential was he on you becoming the driver that you are?
Well, a lot. You know, we were actually a buddy of mine and Dad drove out to the track this morning, and you know, we were talking about you know, when Dad quit driving. He quit driving the same year I started racing sprint cars. So he got out of the seat. I got in at a test day, and then he never got back in one. So that was when I was 15 years old back in 2003. And you know, at the time, you know, he told us on the way over here he was working 100 hours a week just trying to get his engine shop program up and off the ground. And by the time the weekend came, he was worn out. So he was glad that I took over and started driving. But man, he put a lot of hard work and effort into, you get me to the racetrack each and every week, get me in go-kart racing, and definitely wouldn't be exactly where I am right now without him. So it's been really fun.
I have a lot of other questions, but I saw the way you just reacted to Kyle Larson. So you and Kyle Larson have a lot in common. You're both, wing dirt sprint car racers. Your dad was good at that stuff. Just talk about Kyle Larson for a minute. You're a fan of his.
I'm a big fan, and my best friend out on the racetrack and in the garage. And so, man, watching him, do the double is really cool and really fun. And, he gets just as excited. I don't run near as many sprint car races as he does anymore. And, I think it was, we were at Texas a couple weeks ago, and we were struggling with our car. Dad and I go run our Noss Energy Drink sprint car a handful of times a year. We were in at TMS, at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, okay.
We had struggled the first night, wasn't very good, and then we kind of struggled a little bit more the second night, but then in the B main, we kind of hit it right, and we started 8th or 6th and drove to the lead and won and kind of checked out. Kyle came running over. He was so pumped up, just because we got our car back together. So he's a fan as well, and we definitely pump each other up. I texted him this morning and told him that we're all pulling for him.
One last question about Kyle Larson, because like I said, it is about you, and we have a lot more questions. Are all the drivers in the garage area, are they big fans of Kyle Larson, and are they cheering him on to do the double, or do they wish bad upon him?
I don't think anybody wishes bad upon him. I mean, maybe somebody does, but not anybody that I know. So
I'm not going to ask. I'm not going to ask him who.
I wouldn't ask him. No, I don't know. But no, I think everybody in the garage is pumped up for what he's doing and representing our whole sport and our whole community. So watching driver intros just a second ago sounded like there was a lot of good Kyle Larson fans there as well. So be anticipating him coming in and watching the end of the race. Hopefully they get that playing on the big screen sooner than later.
Thank you for answering that. They liked you hearing saying his name.
Yeah. I'm curious too about other motorsports and athletes, that talk amongst each other. Is there any other series that maybe you've looked at and said, man, it'd be great to go run that vehicle or try this out and add another to your list?
I think when Jeff did I think, Lewis Hamilton did the Formula One, the rod swap.
Yeah, the swap.
That looked
cool.
really cool.
Yeah.
The Formula One cars, running them on iRacing, they seem really fun. And it seems like you can really drive them, really, really hard, and they have a lot of grip. And so, I mean, that would be fun to get in one. No, I mean, I would do the double if the opportunity was there, and I think pretty much anybody in the garage would. So, I'm sure all of us are pulling for Kyle, but also we're kind of a little jealous at the same time that he's getting to do it. But hopefully he's successful at it, that it opens the door for more people.
Ricky, there are thousands upon thousands of people that start out every season racing cars around this country. There's only one dude each year that wins the Daytona 500. When you were able to reach that pinnacle of your career, it's so funny to hear people like, I remember Dale Jarrett talking about how it had to sink into him when he was champion. He reached the pinnacle of his career. For a race car driver, there's just nothing like that Daytona 500 victory. How did that change things for you, or did it really change things?
Well, I mean, I think it kind of, definitely makes driver intros nice when I hear that.
Champion.
When I hear the Daytona 500 champion. But, it was huge. I felt like, we were due for one there. We put ourselves in position so many times, and then obviously we had won in all the other super speedways. So I felt like, our time was coming, and I felt like we were going to be able to do that. That morning I woke up, and I just felt like we were going to win. I don't know. It was that feeling, and it was cool to get it done. And, for me, it was really good for our whole race team and everybody that was a part of JTG Doherty Racing. They had, put a lot of time and effort into the sport, and, to get them the biggest win of their career was huge as well.
I see something that's going on, especially with you, and I admire you for it. You're out in the campground with your Fun Pops sponsor, the Fun Pops, popsicles. And then also I see you out here at the souvenir trailer signing autographs. I see a big change in the drivers, especially you leading the way. You're out on the campground giving out popsicles. You're signing autographs. Tell me what this is all about, because I like it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously NASCAR's leaning on us drivers more to get out. I would have been out in the trailers the last few years, but I didn't have any merchandise out here, so really hard to come out to really hard to come out to a merchandise trailer if you don't have one. So that's the reason why I come out every weekend and sign for the fans. And you know, I think everybody is jumping on board and doing that as well. So we appreciate every single one of y'all coming out here. Whether you're a fan of ours or not, we appreciate you being here, and we love putting on a show for y'all.
Yeah, you can cheer for yourselves, guys. It's all right. Cheer for yourselves. Yeah, there you go.
I see some Ricky Stenhouse Jr. fans out there waving. It was cool. It's awesome.
You know, I hate to ask 2 questions in a row, but Johnny said it's okay.
You're allowed to.
Kenny, you can do whatever you want.
Now, stop it. Okay, so I saw you say something, so I feel like it's okay to ask. You've been driving for JTD Daugherty forever, and now it's Hayek. Explain this to me.
Yeah, it was just a team name change. So Gordon Smith was part owner of JTG Daugherty Racing as well, and you know, he wanted his full-own team, so bought everybody else out, and now it's Hayek Motorsports. So Gordon was there 4 or 5 years before I ever got to JTG Daugherty Racing. So you know, he kind of sits back in the weeds and just watches, and
must have had a lot of money.
I'll let you ask him.
I'm gonna buy y'all
That's part
out.
of it, right?
I'll let you ask him. But no, so like our competition side of the team got to stay the same. I still got Mike Kelly, crew chief, and running our team, and I think he's been a huge asset to me. We've obviously accomplished a lot together, and you and I raced.
Yes.
You know, Mike and I were racing together when you and I were racing.
Yep.
So accomplished a lot together. It was cool to get him a Daytona 500 win. He's got a Cup championship as a car chief with Kurt Busch back in the day, and we got some championships in the Nationwide Series together. So that was another cool thing to get him a win as well. So yeah, the competition side stayed the same on our team.
He said Nationwide, everybody.
Yeah, that's old school.
Busch, Nationwide, Xfinity. Just a reminder. Good job.
Well, I want to turn the tables a little bit because, you know, Kenny Wallace, if you want to ask him a question or tell a Kenny Wallace story, I think now would be the time to do that.
Because Kenny raced back in the early 1800s, before shoulder belts.
You know, I won with my mod last week. I got that baby right. It's balanced. As Nick would
Were you
tell.
an elite? You haven't
Are you
switched,
kidding
have
me?
you? I was just
right,
making sure.
Right front, hey, right front. So Nick Hoffman builds my race cars. Well,
He's my neighbor.
Him and Nick are best friends, really. So the kid that builds my cars, those two are best friends. I'll go in, my race car's being built, and he'll be in there working on my race car. There are so many great sides to
I like
Ricky.
working on dirt cars. They don't let me work on cup cars.
I mean, here's this
Does
guy.
Kenny pay well? Did you pay your guys well, Kenny?
I work for free.
It is an amazing sight, right? Daytona 500 winner. I'll come down from St. Louis with my truck and trailer. I'll back up. I'll get out and I'll open the door, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" I love that about you.
Yeah, we love dirt racing. Dirt racers love just anything.
That's what we have in common.
We love working on dirt cars. That's one reason why I love, still sprint car racing is, Dad and I working in the garage on the car together, and going up and down the road, and getting out, racing one day, going to the car wash, and getting it ready for the next night. That's what I enjoy.
Right. It's what you do. It's the constant over and over. Right, run the car, get it dirty, wash it, go in again.
When you're dirt racing, you got 90 races on the schedule. You got a lot of stuff to do in between.
Look at the old man.
Oh yeah, you're looking good.
Gray hair and everything. Yep.
Hey, on that.
Was that at Schrader's? Was that at Peevely?
Yeah, that was at Peevely. Those kids are 20, and I kicked their ass still.
Man.
Yeah, but on that note, guys. Ricky, you look young, you look good, but you've been around this game for a while. And I think if you look at some of the other major league sports guys, the life expectancy of an NFL guy might be 3 to 5 years tops. We have the honor in NASCAR racing, and again, we said that Kenny's still racing since the early 1800s.
Right.
Ricky's been around for a while.
Schrader taught me that.
I just love the fact that when these race fans get enamored with the driver and they stand behind him, you guys get to be involved at the top level of this sport for a long time. That's got to be a good feeling to know that you're not grasping just for a couple years for the glory, that you guys have an opportunity to race for a while.
Yeah, and the way I look at it is, there's, people's careers have been all over the place, right? I mean, you got guys that have won a few races early on in their career, and then, all of a sudden towards the end of their career, they're battling for championships and things like that. So you get put in the right position, right time and place, and we can all still get it done behind the wheel. So it's fun to be a part of this sport for as long as I've have. When I was younger, my dad took me to the motocross track when I was 5 years old. We spent half the day there, spent half the day on the dirt oval go-karts, and at the end of the day, he asked me which one I wanted to race. I picked the go-karts. There was times that I was like, man, I wish I'd have picked the dirt bikes, but I'd already be retired by now. So
at 28,
I'm glad I didn't
a little
do
rough
that.
on the body.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Well, final thoughts that you have for the fans on what we're going to see tonight in the Coca-Cola 600 here at Charlotte.
We're going to be scraping the wall on the outside, especially in 1 and 2. Obviously, restarts are going to be crazy and wild. We'll be. I heard Michael talking about 4 wide at 3 wide at North Wilkesboro. I'm sure we'll be exactly the same here. So just at a higher rate of speed. So hopefully they don't let Michael in the flag stand this weekend.
Hey, I
could have wrote that script.
Did he drop it on purpose?
No, I guarantee he didn't drop it on purpose. I meant to ask him if I guess he's never watched people flag before. The way he was shaking the flag was like,
dropped the flag before.
Yeah, so
legendary moment.
Yeah, that was bad.
Well, thank you so much for
thank
joining
you,
us.
Ricky.
It's always a pleasure to have you here. Fans, how about it? A big round of applause for Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Hope we're talking to you after this thing, brother. Go get him.
Hey, thank you so much. Well, guys, man, it's always great to have the guests come and join us, these drivers putting their hearts on the line out here. We've still got Ryan Preece and Ross Chastain coming, and then afterwards a Speedway Children's Charities auction. So please stick around. We've got some really cool things. We have a quarter panel from Ross Chastain's ride that we're going to be auctioning off right here.
Yeah,
So.
that's
I
awesome.
think if Ricky Stenhouse is building race cars for you, Kenny, I think you should give him a check or something.
I want to share this with you. Sometimes
That's pretty cool. I didn't know that.
My mom told me yesterday. She goes, "You share too much information." I said, "Well, it's okay." But I mean, when you see these great drivers in their environment, it is. Even I go, "Damn, you're over here cutting and grinding on my new race car." So it is. I just wanted to share that with you. Ricky's a badass, and he's down there signing autographs like Richard Petty.
I love it. I want to see Ricky write a little note in your next dirt car. So let's welcome up our next guest, if you would, please. A big round of applause for driver of the #1, Ross Chastain. Welcome in, my friend. Always good to see you.
I got to stop you. Ricky and I do everything together these days. My goodness. On track, side by side. Trackside live, side by side.
Hey, one thing, though, he did not do with you.
Are you working on Kenny's dirt car?
Why, are you side by side with that guy?
Yeah, he's working on a car.
I went up to Nick Hoffman's. I drive my truck and trailer down from St. Louis. I walk in the shop, and he's working on my new dirt car.
Well,
and it's like, even you, I bet you do some things that people
not on dirt cars.
Watermelon farmer.
I was there Monday.
It's watermelon time. Hey, Ross, one of your side gigs, though, I got to say, folks, we were listening to the PRN broadcast yesterday, and this guy did a fantastic job of analyzing that race. Loved it. First stop is Trackside Live, and I said, yeah, way to go. In the same thought there, how important it was for you to come out, see the fans, be with the fans. You guys spent a ton of time. You got a big job tonight to run 600 miles, but that doesn't stop you from taking care of your fans.
No, it's an easy. I mean, this is an easy day. We have a night race, so we have all morning. I got what I needed to get done this morning, and then get out here about lunchtime. This is easy stuff, especially weather like this. This is great. This is a great start to the day.
Okay, so you said you have a fast race car. Goodyear brought a tire a little different, softer compound, different compound, but you blow a left rear tire and you get into the wall, and you realize you got to start with a backup car tonight. Just talk to us about that situation.
Yeah, we did. We evacuated the air out of the left rear tire down and couldn't. So we. And in today's world with Gen 7, and especially being right here, we brought 4 cars to the track for the 4 teams at Trackhouse, and that's it. We didn't bring a 5th car. So once NASCAR approved us to have another backup car, use air quotes, we just loaded that one up that I crashed, took it over to the shop 5 miles away, and just disassembled it there. And one that was going to be tasked for another race, we just built it. So they were there last night and this morning. Complete wrap. It was just a bare chassis and body, and we put the suspension on that we wanted for the heights. And every clip is a little different, so they were sciencing out the differences to accomplish the same thing we accomplished with the car you saw on track yesterday from a setup perspective. They can do that with another one because all the clips are the same. Like road course to super speedway to 1.5 mile clips and chassis are all the same now. So the term backup, I've been like, my buddies are texting me, they're like, hey, backup car or not? And I'm like, well, it's a new build. It's a completely new build. The only thing that's the same is the engine, even the seat belts, all that. We just used a different car that was already together.
A little bit of a technical question. I hope it's not too technical. We see this every single year. You guys go to Kansas, first practice session, somebody blows the left rear tire. You come here, not just saying you, but everybody. We've seen everybody blow left rear tires, and then it don't happen anymore. It's getting repetitive. Do you know what's going on there?
We're trying to go fast.
Is it low air pressure?
Trying to go fast. It's a combination. I look at it kind of like what they call it, a Venn diagram, the 3 circles, and when they all intersect in the middle, that's your blown tire. And so I look at it like it's air pressure. It's stop load on the shock, so how hard you're loading the shock, and then the speed that you go, how fast you go, and the camber in it. So it's kind of the camber, the load, and the pressure, and together with speed. And then I went out, and the car was good, so I ripped the top. I wanted to simulate qualifying on the top, so I ran the wall like dirt car style lap 1, and I don't normally do that, but I did, and then I paid the price.
So, Ross, when it comes to fitness for drivers, over the years we've gone now from Jimmy Spencer to Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. You see a different level of fitness for a driver now. We used to talk a lot about these 600 miles, but it seems, man, you guys train so much these days. Is it still really taxing for you guys to have that extra distance in this race, mentally and physically?
It can be if the car's not good. Like if it's handling bad, like the way it was in practice, I could have ran 600 miles. I was actually thinking I wish this was back during, not that I want COVID back, but when we just showed up and raced, the car we unloaded with, aside from the blown tire, was great. That's what I was ready to race right then. Other times when you're tight or loose, especially, it's really hard to stay calm and slide the rear for 600 miles and not overstep it. And you see drivers spin these Gen 7 cars out. So, yeah, I'll take a snack in the car. I used the restroom right before I got on stage. I'm going to have to pee again right when I get off. Like, it's constant. And then I'll have to dial that down in a few hours to not have to have the urge in the car. You remember those days?
Oh yeah. I'll never forget.
That's a question you get every
time. Yeah, good question, Ross.
Yeah. Don't ever drink a Dr. Pepper before a 400-lap race at Rockingham.
What happens if you got to pee in a race car?
I was in the race, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. Yeah. Well, and all race car drivers, they're saying, gentlemen, start your engines. And all race car drivers, they're running to the bathroom.
Even for the truck race the other night, I get nervous and I got to go. And Todd Bodine's walking over. He's like, hey, don't get in a hurry, man. You know, we don't have a race to run or nothing. I'm like, Todd, I had to pee. Got to go.
Well, you hydrate. Okay. Listen, you were awesome last week at Wilkesboro. So, you know, Marcus Smith, SMI, they own Wilkesboro. They own this track. So it's a fair question because we're 80 miles from Wilkesboro. You ran third. You challenged. You know, it was a great race. They're talking about Kevin Harvick was the one that said, we got to go back there and have a points race. Where are we at with Wilkesboro right now? I mean, it was an incredible look.
It was. And whatever Marcus wants to do, I don't care. If we run an all-star race, we run an extra 150 laps. I think 400 laps makes sense there if you were going to do a points race. But that was a great event, a great weekend. The heat races, everything. The qualifying procedures there, I think, are entertaining. I thought the qualifying here yesterday was awesome. I was watching it, unfortunately. And it was the first time in a long time I've watched Cup qualifying and had no pressure of either I'm about to qualify or being happy or disappointed because I just qualified. So whatever they want to do, listen, just tell me when we're racing and what the rules are, and I'll figure it out from there.
I love that about you, Ross. Like, Ross, seriously, and he's had this attitude from the beginning. He's like, I don't care, I just want to race. And I like that attitude in a race car driver. Do you guys like that?
I don't think track owner or track promoter will ever be in my future. I don't think.
Why did I mean, I feel like I know. The fans want to know, why was Wilkesboro so wide this year? You guys were going into one. You were scraping the wall. You were starting to do it late in the tire run down there in 3 and 4. What changed at Wilkesboro from last year to this year?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, another year of age on it. It was
asphalt
relatively wide last year. We moved up some. We moved up more this year, but it showed some promise. I think the asphalt mix and the procedure and the hot mix they use definitely is lending itself to, as rubber goes in, it penalizes you for grip, so you have to move up. But it's the same way here. In the truck practice, I was the highest one, and I kept inching it up. It's just real dirty as you move up, so I was laying my own rubber down in truck practice, even here at Charlotte, which is 20 years old.
So, Ross, when it comes to that truck race, it was pretty cool for you to be with the guys at Nice. You mentioned several different times, and I think it bears repeating. Al Nice is one of those guys, the owner of that truck team, that served in the military for us. And it is just really so special for you guys to, do what you did in the truck race with the whole team, but at the same time calling out your owner for what he did.
Yeah, it's what this weekend's all about, and for Nice Motorsports, it's every week, it's every day of the year that we think about the soldiers that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Al, a Marine veteran that tells us some stories. He doesn't tell everything, and when I'm one-on-one with him and I spend time with him in Texas every year, and sometimes throughout the year I get out there, and he's not going to tell everything, but it's just he's so proud of what he did and what his other, like his friends that he served with, and those that are still alive, he still sees them some, and he's just proud to have served this country, and he tells, and you can see the confidence he has for this country and how proud he is. So, Nice Motorsports, the only veteran-owned team in the series, and something that proud to drive for, and have been driving for since 18. And you know, Kenny, like once you find an owner that you get along with, pays the bills.
Filbert Martossi was my guy.
What was it?
Filbert Martossi, that Nashville team, the Red Dog car.
Okay.
I ran for him like 7-8 years, and hey. So I see extra things you're doing. You ran second in the truck race. Yep. Great run. Yep. But we look at sponsors, and I wrote these notes down because I wanted to make sure I got it right. And I thought it was a cool sponsor. Protect your melon. Buckle up.
Yep.
Yep. And tell me about that sponsor on that second place truck. Great run.
Yes, second place, best in class. I felt like a prototype was out in front in some other series. And I was in my own class. But the 11, they did great. So it's Florida watermelon season. So that's our family farm is down in South Florida. So watermelons you're buying are coming from Florida right now.
I love you, baby.
There it is.
There you go.
Yep. Yeah.
There you
go.
go.
Protect Your Melon is a seatbelt campaign. We work with the North Carolina Governor's Office of Highway Safety. So all the state troopers you see up here, they have a presence. A lot of cop cars out here. Right. They're gonna enforce the law. So if y'all pull out of here, you don't have your seatbelt on, they're gonna stop you and make you put it on and probably write you a ticket. If y'all have Busch Light, look, I'm the Busch Light guy. Okay. There's activation right there. There's big trailers. So
that's awesome.
I drink beer. I like beer, but have a plan. Let's get out of here and have a plan to get home. With ride shares these days, designated drivers, have somebody getting you home that's not drinking. That's what Use Your Melon is. It's just to drive sober. Just think about it. In today's world, have a plan. Let's not drink all day and then try to drive home with our seatbelt off. That's like the worst thing you could be doing. So I try to tie everything into two watermelons. Y'all have seen me talk about and promote watermelon. So
watermelon
something
good.
As simple as a seatbelt campaign we call Protect Your Melon to tie it back to agriculture.
You know what? I want to say one more thing before you go here in just a minute. Is we have a piece of your car from Atlanta right here.
I love this when you guys do this.
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm going to bring this out front. Come on out here, Ross.
I pulled this out of the shop myself.
You did.
I did. Look how light that baby is.
Come on out here with this and tell us just real quick about this piece, because unlike any other sport in the world, somebody here today, Speedway Children's Charities Auction, is going to get to take this home with them.
Yep. Well, you can tell it's mine because it's scratched.
But somebody got into you.
That's my authentication sticker. I already signed the top of it. This was the left rear quarter panel from Atlanta. last July in 2 years ago in 23.
So light.
In 23.
Oh my God.
What's crazy, Kenny?
Carbon fiber.
Is 10 years ago, every left rear quarter panel was built different, right? Every team had a different way they rolled it and built it and shaped it. Now they're all the same. So this is a made piece that we buy and bolt on, and we do kind of flex it a little when we put it on the car. We try to get the right shape in it. But
I hear people are putting them under sun lamps now, and there's a lot of strategy going on inside the garages.
It's not as strategic as it used to be, but it's still, yeah, you got to push the limits, just like left rear tires.
Got to try.
But
and I love
23.
that you picked this out too.
I did, yeah. They were asking me about it, and I went back there in the back, and we've got a couple pieces back there, and I thought a left rear quarter panel would be good.
I think it's awesome. You walk in the shop, and the guys are like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Oh, they don't even ask anymore, because I'll park out back and I'll be carrying stuff out, and they don't even, they just laugh, because they used to be like, "What do you know?" And I took a wind tire from Coda and Talladega. The end of 22, I wanted a wind tire off the car, that I celebrated with, and I didn't think they'd even notice. And I got an email like 2 days later, like, "Hey, just checking." And I was like, "Yes, sir. Yes, I took it." He's like, "Well, just give me a heads up when you take that stuff, because we like to hold on to it."
I want to compliment you, because the team gets the car ready, and you're taking care of the people and the sponsors. That's a great job.
Well, I went over to the shop after the Xfinity race, and they were still there. I got out of there about 10 because I wasn't really helping anything, but they had pizza and watermelon and probably 15 people working on the car. And they were going to be back there at 5:30. I know they were going to work into the night. I went ahead and went to bed, and then they were going to meet back. A group of them were going to meet at 5:30 this morning, which they don't need me there, though. I'm not bolting them together, but we're here to get ready for the race today.
Yeah,
awesome.
Good work.
Thank you so much for all you do for racing,
Thanks,
for the fans, and for this piece for Speedway
That's
Children's
right.
Charities. So, fans, how about it? A big round of applause for Ross Chastain. Always a pleasure to see our friend Ross, and I love that Ross is just sneaking in the shop grabbing stuff. That makes me happy. Well, stick around. We've got one more guest, and then Speedway Children's Charities auction. We're going to auction that off. Ross Chastain handpicked that out. So if you guys are ready, if you would please help me welcome driver, the number 60 Ford for RFK. Let's give it up for Ryan Preece.
Look at you, legend.
There's the man.
How you doing, Ryan? So good to see you.
Good to see you, brother.
Nice to see you guys.
Welcome back
driver.
to Trackside Live. Good to have you here. Thanks
Look
for
at the
joining
crowd.
us.
You know,
I know. Look at this crowd.
I was just saying to them back, I'm so happy they brought Trackside Live back, because
Thank
it was
you.
something I really enjoyed watching. So I'm glad to be here with you guys.
You know what's funny is a lot of the drivers these days, they'll tell me and Kenny, and they'll say, "Hey, we used to watch you when we were growing up, when we were little kids." That's still a compliment. It's still a compliment.
But that's a compliment. Johnny, I know you got the first question. I just want to respond to that. Chase Elliott came to Bristol last year, and he came up on the stage, and that's the first thing Chase Elliott said. He goes, "Gosh, it sure is awesome that this show's back." So thank you for the compliment.
Well, I mean, it's the truth. Look at this whole area. I mean, you guys are just packed in already, and we don't race for about 6 hours.
Yeah.
It's all about the fans.
This is all about.
It's all about you guys.
That right there.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
good looking.
The
crowd.
the Midway is back, don't you think, Ryan?
I do.
Yeah.
I think the Midway is definitely.
Oh, I love it.
So, Ryan, me and Kenny were pouring through some stats, and you're putting together some to get to so far this season. And I was so happy, as I'm sure a lot of fans were, when you a lot of drivers out there that just need that fit, that just need the right support to show what they can do. Is this the best situation you've been in terms of being a driver behind the wheel of a car?
Absolutely, without a doubt. And honestly, sitting here thinking about Kenny, I remember sitting in Bono's Modified right back behind your race shop not too far from here.
7 miles from here.
7 miles from here. And I think it was about, 12 years ago. So come a long way since then. But, yeah, I mean, honestly, this is a phenomenal opportunity and one that came together really last minute, as far as crew chief, the whole team. It really came together, all of them, about mid-January. Wow. And at this point, we all say that we didn't choose the team. The team chose us. And honestly, it's been a great fit. And I think as we've gone throughout the year, we've just been learning more and more about each other and growing trust. And as you know, as a race car driver, you got to trust everybody around you that when you send it off into turn 1, lap 1, that it's going to stick.
Okay, so we got to get to it right away because it's just totally awesome. You're basically gonna lock yourself in the big all-star race last week, okay? And you're getting ready to choose. You got the choose line here, and NASCAR says you didn't choose soon enough, and they put you to the back. Yeah. But you made the most out of it. You and the Charlotte Motor Speedway have had fun. After the race, when they screwed you, you went and grabbed a cone. That was awesome, but I feel bad that they did that to you. But tell me, give him a round of applause. Yeah, that's how fast you've been, though. Oh, yeah. Tell me about that whole situation.
I think the frustrating part was we lost track where we came in for tires. I mean, we started 5th, we dropped back, we drove to 3rd, and then we took tires. We started 7th, and then we drove to 2nd, and we were coming for them. And as far as Carson and I, we've got a little bit of a rivalry going here, and it would have been fun to line up next to him and play the game.
He's I'm all about it. Carson's the new Jimmy Spencer.
Is he Mr. Excitement?
Mr. Excitement.
So we got to put a cigar in his mouth.
I didn't mean to do that to you, buddy. Where you at, Jimmy?
What happened? What just happened?
But I thought I chose soon enough. I think, I don't know. I just couldn't see
the other drivers said it was hard to see.
It was, in my opinion, it was impossible to see. But I left that last week. It certainly would have been great to be a part of it.
You took a good picture out here, though, this week with your Irish Spring soap.
I did. You know what I love about race fans is they'll never let you forget it, because I was walking into the Ford trailer to sign, autographs and all that stuff, and somebody come running up to me with a cone. And I said, you know what? I'm going to take this cone and I'm going to put it right next to me for this entire autograph session.
And if it's anything, I don't know if you guys were watching on the TV. We were watching on TV, and we couldn't really see the choose line. And you guys are in a race car where you can't really see anything. So we were with you. We were behind you.
Every intention of walking on that racetrack and placing it right on the box.
Damn it.
But then as I was walking, I thought about that fine.
Easily.
Yep, exactly.
So, Jose, go ahead, buddy.
Well, I was just going to talk about 200th start in the Cup Series, the Coca-Cola 600. How about that 200 starts for Ryan Preece? And there was a conversation online about some people were like, oh, that doesn't feel like enough, or is that too many, or what? How do you feel 200 starts? Where does that feel for you?
Try and stay here for that long.
Right.
You know what I mean? It is so difficult, especially when you're grinding for opportunities and trying to find that right fit. Like that's everything. Chemistry is everything. Personalities are, and honestly, being able to adapt and have the right group around you, that's so important, because as much as we like, it is so much more than that. And I'm happy I found that right fit, and I've been enjoying it. We're 12 or have had some really strong runs, almost won at Talladega, and really something to be proud of. So, 200 starts. I wish we have a few win columns, but one thing about being with RFK and this group is it's coming. It doesn't matter if we start 28th, which tends to be where we qualify, but we drive forward, and we have some fun doing it.
So, Ryan, what is it like for you guys behind the wheel to add the extra 100 miles? We're just talking to Ross about that. Drivers go through so much physical conditioning right now, but you can only get in so good of a shape.
He got arms.
Oh, yeah.
That man got arms, man.
Extra 100 miles taxes the brain too, doesn't it?
I mean, some of these guys can definitely run faster and further than me, but if I get a hold of them, you know, we can just put them down. But
Right.
yeah, I would say, you know, for me, it's drinking plenty of fluids and even grabbing something throughout the race. Because to be honest with you, that extra 100 or even, you know, we do 400-mile races, so even that extra 200 miles, it's like a race and a half, and it'll beat up on you. So around lap 200, 250, I think you're going to see. I don't know. What did you used to do back in the day?
No cool suits back then for Kenny
Kenny had Mountain Dew.
Let me, okay, you bring up a good question. Okay, my ass, I got the no acetol disease. My ass would hurt me after this race. I started learning about those like quarter-inch gel deals, obviously the hydrating, but I mean, you know, I don't know, I think I was so young you couldn't wear me down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I was so young back then that...
we still can't wear him down, folks.
Physical fitness, I mean, I was always like this, and people say, do you run? I'm like, how far you want to go? But I look at you, and you probably like, what? When you're your age, they're not going to wear you down. The only way they're going to wear you down is, you know, the header breaks, and that stuff don't happen anymore. But I don't know, drink Coke and Pepsi all the time, and I was okay.
There you go. I like to say I retain water.
Nowadays, they kill you if you drink that.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I hear stories about back then, guys used to have a few beers the night before. I think about drinking a beer the night before, and I'm like, ooh, I'm going to be dehydrated the next day. That is no good.
Okay,
but,
look here.
Yeah.
Johnny and myself studied you up. This is time to brag on him. This is his best year ever in Cup. So we're going to read this together. We're going to read this together. Brother Rusty Wallace would say, Herm, you got to remind them because they all remember what they want to. So here's your reminder about Ryan Preece. Finished 7th at Kansas, 15th in the points. You've led 49 laps this year. That's hard to do. Only driver, this one here blew me away. Only driver in NASCAR right now to have top 10 ratings this year. Now, they got all these stats, right, everybody? This is new in NASCAR, stats. Second best passing and pit crew ratings. That means you pass people and your pit crew gains you places on pit road. 4th best on restart ratings. That means your restarts kick total last.
And that's huge.
Yeah.
That means you're eighth and best on defense. It means you don't get passed very much. And you are the 9th fastest car of the year. You are the only person to be in the top 10 in all these categories. Is it the team? Why are you doing so much better this year?
I think it's driver. I think it's all driver.
Well, one of those you just said, 8th best at defense. And you know what I took as a compliment? Modifieds mainly. But what I took as a compliment is Logano and I, we're both from Connecticut, and we're both pretty hardcore. And when I say hardcore, what I've learned since moving to North Carolina, being from the Northeast, really how different we are up there. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I know we're really high-strung and we're a lot different. But Joey said to me, I think Texas, I threw some blocks on him. So when I saw him at Kansas last week, or a couple weeks ago, he looked at me and goes, hey. I cut you some slack.
Highlight of the show. Highlight of the show.
I can do that. I'm from Connecticut. I've known Joey since forever. No, we're done picking on Joey. But... so he said to me, he's like, I cut you some breaks. So we go to Kansas, and sure as heck, I'm behind him, and he starts throwing blocks on me, and I'm like, I deserve these, you know? So, but Joey said to me, man, you were throwing some good blocks. So I felt pretty good about that.
You even make his face.
Well, to be honest with you, I wear glasses because I squint. It's got to be a Connecticut thing.
Yeah. I love you. That's good stuff.
Yep. But, no, I mean,
it's a great
honestly,
year.
But to your point, it's just been great. It's been great working with Brad. And for those of you, I really had no idea. I've been racing in the Cup Series, grinding it out, and I never really got to know Brad. Yeah. That guy, I was walking around the racetrack. Yes, Brad Keselowski, sorry. And we were walking around the track, and he starts talking about different facts, just random things. And I'm like, Brad, where did you learn this? Like, how often, when did you start reading, like grabbing books and start reading to educate yourself? And he's like, oh, around my mid-20s, I really started to enjoy it. I'm like, I'm 34 and I need to start doing this, because he's just been somebody that I feel like a sponge. Like, I am just soaking up everything that he is teaching and willing to teach, because, you know, as a race car driver, when we're competing against each other, like I said earlier, a lot of us have egos. So trying to get truthful, honest answers on what you're doing, why you're doing it, it's tough, but he's a great teammate. Just as, you know, Chris Buescher was another one. I was teammates with him in 2019 when I was at JTG, and he's always been really good to me. So I feel like our group together, it's pushing each other forward.
Yeah, he's a thinker. He's a thinker.
And you guys look like you're having fun. Like, I know there's some teams out there that, you know, seem like they're maybe frustrated, et cetera. You guys just seem to enjoy the process of what you're doing as well. And I've always said, if I had two folks to put on security detail for me, it would be Chris Buescher and Ryan Preece.
You know what is about Brad chooses you guys? You and Chris, we make everybody's ass.
We make him look tiny too. You know, we're bigger guys.
You and Chris come walking into the race shop. It's like, oh, here they come.
We're bodyguards for him. Yeah.
So Ron, we're with you. We really feel like this victory for your team is around the corner. If you guys keep doing what you're going to do, it's going to happen eventually. But as a young race car driver, it's always interesting to talk to people about what they dream about and what they think that's going to be like to be potentially.
This morning, you know, if you're able to win, you want to blow donuts, right? But I drove a very often, so I drove it here. But I'm telling you right now, if we win tonight, I'm going to do donuts in that race car, in that Ford Mustang. But when I'm done and all the lights shut off, I am braking onto the front stretch, and I am going to blow donuts in my street car on the front stretch. So y'all might want to hang around for that if it happens.
Yes.
Quick question.
One last thing I want to give you. Schrader says NASCAR's on this up in a good way, and you got a great new sponsor, obviously Irish Spring Soap, Trimble Corp News, and a global technology company, and they're going to help you with the race team. Congratulations. And
so, I mean, Brad's always about technology, and to be honest with you, the way the sport's changed, from when I grew up watching later 90s, because I was only 5-10 years old.
Yeah,
I loved it.
okay.
And what it's changed.
Yes,
you know what I mean? How
crazy.
much even setups have changed. So they're a technology that's going to be able to help us with some of our sim stuff. And I'm not going to get into too many of the details of it, but definitely, you know, they're in every part. I mean, they're in construction. They can really benefit a lot of different companies. So excited that, you know, we're a race team that's continuing to find sponsors and grow. You know, Irish Springs with Kroger and all the different partners we have there, and you know, it's great to have them. So they're just doing a great job at RFK, whether it's the race cars or the social media side.
You know what? It's always a pleasure to have you here, and that win is coming. It is. We can.
Nice
feel
guys
it.
Can finish first.
Yes, they can.
It can happen.
And real quick, because I want to say, just so you guys know, there is a charity auction. I believe right after this,
Correct.
right?
Yep.
I'm going to donate some cash because I like helping charities just like I did last week. So everybody here, grab a beer, be ready to donate or support this auction, because I know everybody at Speedway Children's is going to appreciate that.
Awesome. Man,
Very
thank
nice.
you so much for that.
Thank
We
you,
really
Ryan.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
And stick
Hey, Ryan,
around.
let's go.
Freeze, come on. Big round of applause for Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to have you here. We'll see you out there for the Coca-Cola 600. Thank you. Great to see you, brother. Fans,
Go get it, Ryan.
How about it? Give a big round of applause to Kenny Wallace, John Roberts.
Thank you all.
To everybody watching on
a show.
PRN, thank you very much. And we're going to go enjoy the Coca-Cola 600. Thank you,
Absolutely.
gentlemen.
Have fun, everybody, but let's also not forget the reason why we're all here. Those who
love
paid
you.
the ultimate sacrifice so we can come here, feel safe, and go racing on all these weekends. Don't forget it.
Thank you all. We appreciate you. God bless. Good luck. And have fun out there.
Have a
Enjoy
great
the
day.
spicy race today.